Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video I'm going to be showing you how to make something a little different. This time I'm going to be showing you how to make Finn's sword out of Adventure Time. I'm going to be showing you how to make the golden sword of battle. It's been a long time since I've made anything like this, and I used to make things like this regularly. I want to get back to it, I want to get a bit more of a variety, so I'm starting with this. This has been requested for quite a while from quite a few different people, and I figured it's about time I made it. So, as I said, it's a little different. I've not made anything like this in a while, so be gentle with the criticism. However, if you want to make it, here's what you're going to need. I forgot that they messed around with the menus. You're going to need black wool, dark grey, yellow, orange, red, and finally nether brick. They're the only colours that we're going to be needing, so once you've got those and once you've figured out where you want to make it, I'm going to be making it right here. You're going to want to start out with a row of 3 black wool in a row on the floor. So 1, 2, 3. What you're then going to want to do is stack 3 nether brick directly on top of your 3 black wool, like so. What you're then going to want to do on top of the most right nether brick, this one right here, is stack 2 nether brick going directly up. So 1, 2 to form a little J shape, like that. Once you've done that, you're going to want to take out your red wool and you're going to want to make a little 2x2 square of red being cradled by the J shape to give you something which should look like that. And once you've done that, you're going to want to take out your black wool, and I can't really explain this, so I'm just going to do it. And you're just going to want to kind of outline the little square shape that you've made. So you're going to want to do that. Again, couldn't really put it into words, but should be fairly easy to see what I've done there. And that is going to be the pommel of the sword. So pause this if necessary. Once you've done that, we can move on to the handle. So what you're going to want to do is on top of this row of 3 black that we have here, on top of the middle black, this one right here, you're going to want to stack a row of 8 dark grey going directly up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like so. What we're now going to do is we're going to do the other 2 rows which lie on the left and the right hand side of this row of 8 grey. And to do that, we're just going to be starting from the bottom, and I'm just going to be calling out the colours. So first of all, this left row next to the dark grey, you're going to want to do 1 black, 1 dark grey, 1 black, 1 dark grey, 2 black, 2 dark grey. So you're going to want to have something which should look like that. Pause this if necessary. On to the next one. So for this row, again starting on top of this black wool, you're going to want to do 2 black, 1 dark grey, 1 black, 1 dark grey, 2 black, 1 dark grey. And that will make up the handle. Fairly simple, so pause that if necessary. Once you've done that, we can work our way onto, I want to call it a cross guard, but I'm honestly not entirely sure what this part of the sword's called. I'm going to go with cross guard, the guard we'll call it. So to make the guard, here's what you're going to do. I apologise for my lack of sword anatomy. What you're going to want to do is, on top of this middle block of grey here, is you're just going to want to place a black wool block, like so. And then on the left and right hand side of this black wool, you're going to want to do a row of 7 black wool, as I said, stemming from the left and the right hand side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and on the other side as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you're going to want to have something which should look like that. Once you've done that, you're going to want to do a few more rows on top, and to do this we're going to start from the left hand side here and just work our way over to the right. So just calling out colours, going from left to right on top of this row right here. You're going to want to do, for the second row, 1 black, 1 dark grey, 1 black, 1 dark grey, and then the rest of the row wants to be black, and that should just span it over all the way over to the right hand side like so. For the next row after that, doing it the exact same way, starting from the left hand side here, you're going to want to do 2 black, 1 dark grey, 1 black, 1 dark grey, and then the rest is quite simply black, so all the way over to the right hand side like so. For the fourth and final row, this is going to be a little different. We're going to be doing it the same way, however, this row is one shorter each side, so you're going to want to start on the second block in from the left, and just as we've done for the two previous rows, you're going to want to do 4 black, 1 dark grey, and then the rest of the row is black. So remember to stop one short of the end on the right hand side, just as you did on the other side, to give you something which should look like that. Pause this if necessary. Let me show you what you want to have overall. So this is what you want to have so far. That's the hilt of the sword. Pause this if necessary, if you need to catch up, if you need to make sure that you've got that right. Once you've done that, we're going to be working our way up to the blade. So, moving on to the blade. You're going to want to take out your orange wool, and you're going to want to find the middle black block. So, on top of the guard, right here, this should be the middle block. 1 block, well, 2 blocks to the right of this dark grey here. It should be easy enough for you guys to find this middle lot. This block right here, you're going to want to do 41 orange wool going directly up on top of this block. 41, 4, 1. So, counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41. Like so. What you're then going to want to do, whilst we're up here, is stack 4 yellow wool on top of that row of 41 orange wool. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And let me just show you what that should look like once you've done that. So it's going to look a little weird. It kind of looks like a fencing sword at the moment, but don't worry, we're going to change that. So once you're at this point right here, pause this if necessary of course, we're going to be making the blade look a little beefier. So what you're going to want to do on the left and right hand side of this giant row of orange here, is you're going to want to do a row of yellow that is 2 shorter than the middle row of orange and yellow. So you just want to stop 2 away from the top on the left and right hand side, just to reinforce a blade. So you're going to want to have something which should look a little bit like that. Once you've done that, as a matter of fact, the sun is going to be going down very soon, and the next few parts require quite a bit of counting, and I'd prefer not to chop them up, so I will be back once we've got our full daylight again. So we've not got too much left to do with the blade, however what we have got to do requires a little bit of counting, so we best get cracking. So we're going to want to come back to the top of the guard again, so right here, and we're going to be starting on the left hand side. So on top of this dark grey block here, and what we're going to want to do is a row of 10 yellow wool stemming directly on top of this dark grey block. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like so. What you then want to do, still going up, is you're going to want to miss 3 blocks. 1, 2, 3, and then place a block, leaving the gap of 3. So you're going to want to have something which should look like that. Pause that if necessary. Once you've done that, we're going to want to do a similar thing, except this time stemming from the top of the blade. Well, almost at the top of the blade. As a matter of fact, you want to be in line with the orange wool that we have in the middle here. So you're going to want to start from here to the left of the block that I have highlighted, and you're going to want to do 7 yellow wool going down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What you're then going to want to do, still going down, you're going to want to miss a block, place a yellow, miss a block, place a yellow. Then you're going to want to just keep going down with your yellow wool until it connects with the yellow that you should have just placed a little earlier on, to give you something, just to show you this top section first, to give you something which should look like that. However, overall, to give you something which should look like, zoom out slower, which should look a little bit like that. And if you're wondering, the reason that there's holes in this is because there's notches in the sword. I imagine from beating people to death with it. I don't know whether he actually ever kills anything with the sword in the program. I've never watched the program, but I imagine that he hits stuff with it. It's a sword after all. So that's what you're going to want to have for the left side of the sword. Pause that if necessary. Once you've done that, we can move over to the right hand side, and unfortunately it's not symmetrical, so we've got a whole new set of counting to do. So starting on the right hand side, starting at the guard again, so right here on top of this black wall, you're going to want to do a row of 16 yellow going directly up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. You're then going to want to miss 3 blocks, so 1, 2, 3. You're then going to want to place a block, leaving the gap of 3, so just as you did earlier, you're going to want to have something which should look like that. Pause this if necessary. Once you've done that, just as we did earlier, we're now going to do a similar thing except stemming from the top, or again, nearly the top here. So, in line with the orange again, working our way down, you're going to want to do 3 yellow wool. Then you're going to want to leave a gap of 3. 1, 2, 3. Then place a yellow after you've left the gap of 3, like so. And then you're going to want to continue on down from that yellow that you just placed and connect everything back together to give you something which should look overall, come on, zoom out faster, overall which should look like that. Doesn't look too shabby if you ask me. So pause this if necessary. Once you've done that, I'm just going to show you what you want to have overall. Once you've done that, you should have something which should look a little bit like that. Now, I've only just realised, and I haven't looked at this 2D version, it actually looks pretty good in 2D. It doesn't look too bad whatsoever, so honestly, if you're happy with this 2D version, I would keep it 2D. However, what I have planned now is to make this a little bit more 3D, make it look a bit more lifelike. So, what you're going to want to do once you've reached this point, and if you do want a more of a statue than a pixel art, here's what we're going to do. We're going to come back down to the hilt of the sword, and we're going to extend it out a little bit, make it look a little bit more raised out, a little more 3D. So, first of all, we're going to be starting with the pommel. So, you just want to copy the blocks that you have on this layer right here, and you're just going to want to, as I said, raise out the pommel, which is just this little bit right here, and you just want to raise out the necessary colours, the red and the nether brick, like so. Then you're going to want to, moving our way up to the handle. For this part, for the handle, all you want to raise out is the dark grey, so you want to leave the black in there and just raise out the dark grey. I feel as though it gives a bit of a better effect. From what I gather, the handle is wrapped in something. I'm not sure what it is exactly, but to me, in my mind, it makes more sense that it is just the grey that is raised out. Looks a bit more 3D. That's just me though. What you're going to want to do, once you've done the pommel and the handle, is move up to the guard. Now the guard is a little more difficult to explain, however, quite easy to do. So what you're going to want to do is, starting on this left hand side, is you're going to want to raise up, starting off with only this little square here, so you can see how I'm doing this. And you're going to want to then, once you've done the little square like these, the 2 middle rows coming in, starting from the 2nd and 3rd row, you're then just going to want to then raise up every block. Like, I'm doing a really bad job of explaining this, but it should be fairly obvious to you what I'm doing. And you're just going to want to bring it over to the right hand side a bit, and you're just going to want to have the same effect on the right hand side as well. So on the right hand side, you're just going to want to raise up those blocks, and then it just wants to taper in to like raising up the 4 full rows. If you understand. Of course you do. It's simple to understand. I'm just butchering the explanation because I don't really know how to explain it. So you're going to want to have something which should look like that, and just to give you the overall effect, it wants to look like that. And I feel as though if you add the 3D effect, it just looks a little better from a distance, in my opinion. It's completely up to you. So once you've done that, pause this if necessary. We're just going to go and quickly do the same on the other side as well. So I'm going to be doing this a little quicker on this side, since you already know what to do from the other side. I'm just doing the exact same thing. So just raising up the pommel there, and then the dark grey of the handle, the wrapping, and just to raise up the guard in the exact same fashion. It's getting dark as well, so another reason to get this done quick. But as I said, I hate it when I do that. As I said, you manage it on the other side, you just want to do the exact same thing on this side. It should not differ whatsoever. So exactly like that. Yep, there we go. Kind of hard to see sometimes with it being black, but that is the other side done as well. You probably won't be able to see it very well as it is dark, but pause this if necessary if you're still working on that. We're going to jump straight into the blade once I am back with the sunlight, so back in a sec. Alright, so adding a 3D effect to the blade is actually fairly simple. So what you're going to want to do first of all is, assuming that you are at this point that you've done both sides of the handle, what you want to do first of all is raise up the orange row that is in the middle of the blade. So just extend that out by one, like so. What you then want to do is take out the yellow wool, and you just want to raise up the 2 rows next to the orange and a little bit after it. Again, this bit's kind of hard to explain, but it's going to be really easy to see what I've done once I've done it. So just to show you, let me move all the way up to the top. So you want to do the 2 rows directly next to the orange, like so, but you also want to do this little shape at the top, like an upside down T, like so. So you just want to come past the orange by 3 like that, just leaving that 1 block of yellow that is higher than the raised yellow that you've just done, just to make it look a bit more pointier. And what you're going to want to do once you've done that is, you can see what I've done right here. What you're going to want to do, the notches that you have in the sword, only the large notches, the one that we have on the left and the 2 on the right here, you're just going to want to, where we have this space of 3 here, you're just going to want to, coming in by 1, knock out the middle block corresponding with the middle block that we have with the space of 3. So you're going to want to have that. And you're going to want to do the same thing with the other 2 notches as well. So just to show you what that should look like, there you go. You're going to want to have something which should look like that. And I know that it's kind of hard to see because the blade's quite big. It's like, I don't know, 45 blocks long or whatever. Yeah, something like that, close enough. I know it's kind of hard to see, and as a matter of fact, I'll even take off the UI even though we have the other side to do. You're going to want to have something which should look like that, and I just feel as though adding the 3D effect to the blade is probably why you'd add the 3D effect in the first place. I think it makes it look a lot cooler. I don't know, it makes it look a lot more battle-worn, it makes it look a lot more pointy, just gives it a nice sword effect, in my opinion. So once you've done that to that side, I'm going to quickly go and do the same thing to the other side. And you want to do the exact same thing. It shouldn't be too difficult for you, assuming that you manage to do the first side. So first of all, just raise up all the orange, and then throw the yellow in there next to the orange, and of course the bit of yellow that wants to supersede the orange, like so, just to make it look a little pointier. So throw the 2 giant rows of yellow in there, and then just knock out the necessary blocks which are in line with the notches. So just to show you this side of the sword as well. I can't show you this side of the sword because I've just hit the barrier, but well, I can't show it you in full. I can give you a really terrible view like this, but unfortunately I've hit the barrier on this side, so I'm going to return back to this side. Back to the only side that matters. Let me just show you what it wants to look like once you have done everything. So I just want to give you a nice little view of the sword and talk about it a little bit before I sign off here. So this is the tutorial 100% complete at this point. I have no more to show you. The sword is 100% made. There's nothing more that I can show you how to do with it, although of course you can just add your own alterations as you see fit. Make it blue for all I care, it is completely up to you. However, my involvement with this is over. So talking about the sword, I feel as though I did pretty well with the sword, and we're hitting the invisible barrier again, so I'll just make my rounds back over this side. I feel as though I did pretty well with the sword. I think it looks pretty close to the actual sword. I mean, it could look a little closer. Like, the blade I'm not 100% happy with, but considering the size of this, considering the fact that it's not absolutely massive, I think I did a pretty good job. Like, there's a few more details that I would have liked to have added. Like, on the sword there's more scuff marks and stuff. Like, not only are there chips taken away out of the side of the notches, or whatever you want to call them, however, there are, like, scuffs on the actual, like, face of the blade, like the wide part, which I just couldn't get in there without it making it look a little worse. And of course there's more detail that I'd like to have put on the guard, and I would have liked to have made the handle look a little better, but considering the circumstances, I think it looks pretty decent. So I hope that you guys like this. That's pretty much all I wanted to say. I hope it was easy enough to follow. I hope it's to your liking. I'm going to try and do some more stuff like this. I want a bit more of a variety. I'm going to see if I can figure out some more things to make. Some more statuesque things that aren't YouTubers and skins and such. So, again, I hope this was easy enough to follow. I hope you were able to make it, and thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, maybe you should think about subscribing. I have plenty more stuff like this on my channel. I have tutorials ranging from YouTube statues, skin statues, houses, pixel art, the list goes on. Thanks for watching.